Now, obviously, the Goodie Mob is down with Outkast, and Outkast paved the way for not just Goodie Mob, but a lot of artists. Outkast is obviously one of the best hip hop groups of all time, a legendary group. You got Andre 3000, the big boy, on the new album. Andre raps on the song Cigar about an experience that I had going to the dungeon in the dirt and smoking weed. And, you know, at the end of his verse, he talks about waking up when you smell the weed burning. Like, that's an experience.
Yes.
I didn't fall asleep in the dungeon, but I done had that experience many, many a time. So tell us about recording with Ray and Rico Wade in that basement studio, and why the dungeon was so important to the Dungeon family.
I think the dungeon was just so important to the Dungeon family because, first of all, it was Rico Wade's mother's house. And then second of all, it was like, that was where we all met up. But the special part about it was going down into that basement and the walls being made of red dirt and us being able to conjugate down there. We was never able to really record in the dungeon. So once Rico them started going to Bosstown and Doppler, the best thing we would do, we would get tracks that we would get from the dungeon. And when they started going into the big studios, we most of the time would just be out in the cars. Like, we would be out in the parking lot of Bosstown and just listening to these tracks all day, just hoping that they would say, "Yo, come in here and get on something." So the dungeon was just like that was our
basic training.
That was our training ground.
Minor leagues. Yeah. When Amadou Diallo was shot 41 times, I did a record, Hip Hop for Respect, with Yasin Bey, aka Mos Def, Pharoah Monch, Coogee Rap, Sporty Thieves, Rod Digger, De La Soul Common, and everything. And it was Rico and Ray that reached out to me, and they said, "Look, we want to show solidarity with what y'all doing in New York, with how y'all talk about the police brutality in New York. Let us produce that record for y'all." And at this point, they was platinum selling artists, and I was just brand new in the game. So I flew down to Atlanta, and, you know, I went down to the dungeon. Future was there. I think he was 15, 16 years old at the time.
Wow.
And, you know, that's one of my greatest memories, is flying to Atlanta and working with them brothers. So I consider the Dungeon family my family. And I also consider it to be reminiscent of the vibe that me and my crew had at Electric Lady, because I was at Electric Lady studio with the Roots and with Erykah Badu, Common, Jay Dilla, rest in peace, D'Angelo. Everybody was in different rooms doing their thing. So when I hear y'all talk about the stories of the Dungeon family, it reminds me of that Electric Lady vibe. You know, now Black Ice is one of my favorite records, going back to Outkast again, man. That record for me, and for a lot of people, cemented the Goodie Mob and the Dungeon family. Okay, we knew these boys was nice. We knew they had their own lane, but when it comes to skills, we can't, like, they not to be fucked with. And in 1995 at the Source Awards, Andre 3000 famously said, "I'm tired of closed-minded folk. We got a demo tape. It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it. But the South got something to say. That's all I got to say." Now, Soul Food came out just a couple months after that. How did y'all feel at that time representing for the South in that way?
Yeah, we felt strong, bro. We felt real strong right then because we didn't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? We only had everything to gain. You know, and Andre opened that opportunity up, you know, saying that, just let the people know that please believe, keep your minds open to what you may run into. As far as Atlanta, you never know what you might hear coming out the A. And even the record label had no idea as to which direction Goodie Mob would go in. We didn't know which direction Goodie Mob would go in. But we always say, man, like you say, God is in every man of blackness, man, is good in every man of blackness also. You know, that's pretty much it, man. You know, I'm just saying Goodie Mob just has really paved the way for a whole lot of artists out here and for themselves, man, by just trying to do something that's gonna represent 25 years later, something that's gonna stick to your bones. You know what I'm saying? Not no fast food, some real soul food. Soul food takes time, take patience, you know what I'm saying? Take perseverance. You know what I'm saying? It takes hard work. It takes dedication. You got to be dedicated to finishing and completing that task when you're making that macaroni and cheese. You got to do that when you're making them collard greens. You know what I'm saying? When you're frying that turkey.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. They can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it.